Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make another beaded ring. With this ring design, you can use different beads in the tops to get different looks. So with this ring design, I actually have 3 rows. The first row is this little circle of the pink beads here, and on top is a 6mm Czech fire polished bead. And the second row is all seed beads, and I just did a random looking pattern. And the third row is the Czech beads with the seed beads in between them. So to get a different look, I'm changing the second row. Instead of using the 6/0 seed beads, I used 4mm Swarovski crystals, and this is what the ring looks like now. So I still use the seed beads in the same spot under the 6mm bead and on the edge, but I just changed the second row to get this look. So this is obviously a lot sparklier because I used the Swarovski crystals. There's another way you could do it. You can use Czech 4mm fire polished round beads, and this is what it looks like. Here's a little close up so you can see. These green ones are the Czech fire polished beads, and I still used the 6mm fire polished beads on the top and on the very edges. So just by changing the second row, I can get these different looks. The ring I'm going to be making in the video is going to be a mix of all 3. I'm going to use the 6/0 seed beads in the ring, the 4mm Swarovski crystals, and the 4mm Czech fire polished rounds. I hope you're going to love this video. Let's get started. Here is the list of materials you will need to make one ring. You will need 40 inches of 10-pound test monofilament. You will need 7 6mm round beads. I used Czech fire polish round beads in 3 of my rings, and I will also be using them in the ring that I will be making in the video. This one has 6mm fire polish Czech beads. This one does. These blue ones here, and this one. But in this one, I just used 6mm faceted glass beads. These aren't Czech. These are actually more round than the Czech beads. The Czech beads are more oval in shape. You can also use 6mm pearls and probably even gemstone beads. Pretty much as long as they are 6mm, they should work. If you're making this kind of ring with the 4mm crystals or the 4mm fire polish beads, you will need 12 6/0 seed beads. But if you're making your ring like this with all 6/0 seed beads on the top, you will need a total of 24. So if you're making it this way, you'll need 12. If you're going to do it this way with all 6/0, you will need 24. If you're making your ring with the 4mm bicones or the fire polished beads, you will need 12 beads. The ring I'm making in the video, I'm actually going to do a mix. So I'm going to do 6 4mm bicone crystals and 6 fire polished Czech beads. You're also going to need 11/0 seed beads or 10/0 seed beads. These are 10. This ring I did 10, this one's 10, this one's 10, and this one was 11. It really doesn't matter. You can use 10 or 11. All the information you will need to make this ring, the materials, the amounts, and the sizes, all the information for this ring will be in the description bar below this video. I'll have everything down there in case you need something. The first thing we're going to do is make the very center of our ring. Right here where I have the 6 6/0 seed beads and the 6mm Czech bead. I went ahead and colored the ends of my monofilament with permanent markers. One's black and one's red. I'm going to pick up 3 6/0 seed beads and slide them down. I'm going to pick up 3 more, and I'm going to cross through them with my other string. Just like this. Put my ends together so they're even, and bring these 3 down to the center of my string. Now I'm going to pick up 1 6mm bead, cross through it like this, put my ends together again, check to make sure that the seed beads are centered on my string. Now I'm going to slide this 6mm bead all the way down. Now both of my ends should be even, and once they are, look carefully at this and you can see that our string is on this side. One's here and one's here. I'm going to take one of my ends, I'll do this one. This side's red, but it doesn't matter because we're going to do the same thing with both. My string is right here. Can you see it? Right here it is, and I'm exiting here. I'm going to take this string and I'm going to go through 2 of the seed beads, and I'm exiting out the side here. Pull this through. Now I'm going to take my other string, the black one, and I'm going to go through 2 seed beads also. So through this one and this one, and pull it. Now both of our strings are exiting out of the same bead. So right here, when your bead's going straight, this is the top or the bottom of the ring, okay? And this bead over here that we're exiting out of, that's the sides of the ring. So you can really see it right here. This bead's going straight, the hole's going that way. This is the top and this is the bottom. Make sure your ends are even. Mine are. Okay, now we're ready to pick up our second row of beads. If you want, in row 2, you can do a pattern. Now obviously I didn't do a pattern in these 2 rings. I did the same kind of bead in the same color in row 2. In these 2 rings though, I did do a pattern. And what I did was I took either whatever you want, the 6 seed beads, the 4mm bicone crystals, or the 4mm Czech fire polish beads, whatever you're using. You're going to take 12 beads and lay them in the color pattern you want in a straight line. If you're right-handed, you're going to start picking up and weaving the beads from the right side, and you're going to pick them up all the way to the left side until you run out. If you're left-handed, you're going to want to start picking up your beads from the left side, picking them up and weaving them all the way until you get to the right side and run out. Now we will be picking up half of row 3 while we're doing row 2, and that half we're picking up are the 6 seed beads. So once we pick up all these in row 2, the last thing we'll do to finish the top of the ring off is pick up the 6mm round beads. Make sure that this is tight and that it's not loose. What I'm going to do is pick up my Czech bead in a bicone, and I'm going to cross through it, bring it down. This is what it looks like. So this is the side of my ring, and right here when I get to row 3 I'm going to put a 6mm bead. So the next thing we have to do is pick up a 6 seed bead and the next 4mm bead, which is the Czech bead. Cross through this bead, make sure that you're pulling your strings tight the whole time while we're doing this, because when I did it with bicones, just bicones, and when I did it with just the Czech beads, I had a hard time getting the top to look nice. It wanted to mess up on me if I didn't keep it tight. So make sure that it stays real tight. I didn't really have this problem with those, and the reason why is because the bicones and the Czech beads have sharper holes, and these holes are real rounded and smooth, so I didn't have a problem keeping it tight with that like I did with this. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to take this string that's exiting on the inside, it's my red string, and I'm going to put it through this 6 seed bead, the next one. Now I already have my 6 seed bead for row 3 right here. I'm going to zoom in just a tad. On my outer string, my black string, this is my outer, this one's my inner. They do swap, but as long as you can remember the inner and the outer. On this one, I'm not going to pick up a 6 seed bead because I just did it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a crystal, just one, and I'm going to cross through it. Bring it down, just like this. Now this is wanting to flip up, and I can't let it do that because this is the top of my ring. So I'm going to fold it down, just like this, and pull it tight. I did notice the thing with the pulling it tight, that it actually turned out a lot better doing it with just the Czech beads and the bicones mixed together. But when I did it with just the bicones, I did have trouble keeping it nice and round on the top, and when I did it with those, just those, I did still have a hard time. But doing it with the bicones and the fire polish bead, it worked out pretty good. So over here was the seed bead. We just did it here without one, and now we have to do it with a seed bead. So I'm going to pick up one seed bead, and my next bead, which is the clear one, because I have the fuchsia one here. When you're doing two colors like this, it's not that hard to keep the pattern going because you could see what your last one is. But when you're doing 3 and 4 colors, it gets a little more confusing looking. So after this, I have to pick up my Czech bead and cross through it. Pull it down. Make sure you pull your strings tight. Right there I can see it's getting a little loose. So pull it nice and tight. So now I have to go through this 6OC bead on the top with my inside string. So taking my red string, I'm going to go through this one. Now I did my seed bead here, so the next one I'm going to do, I'm not going to pick up a seed bead. So I'm just going to pick up one bead, the bicone, and I'm going to cross through it. Pull it tight. Make sure that your beads are together and that they're not flipping up over the top of your ring. So this is the empty space where the 6mm bead is going to be later. So the next thing we have to do is pick up a seed bead and the Czech bead and cross through the Czech bead. Pull it down. Pull both ends tight. Nice and tight. Now I have to take the string on the inside and go through the 6OC bead here on the top. This one, right here, the next one in line. So this is what it looks like. It looks a little messy, but it's going to get straightened out. As you can see, the bicone is going down, so what I have to do is pop it up through the top. The next bead I'm going to pick up is the bicone, and I'm just going to do one again, cross through it. I have to straighten my top of my ring up, push those up so it's round like this. Pull it nice and tight so there's no loose monofilament showing. So right here was our skipped part. So now I have to pick up a 6OC bead because here we skipped it and here was the last one we did, and my Czech bead. And I'm going to cross to the Czech bead just like this. So now we have to take this string on the inside and go through the next 6OC bead here on the top. Just like this. Now I have to pick up another bicone. Bring it down. If your ring is messing up like mine is, just push those up with your fingernail and pull it tight. The tighter we pull it, the better it's going to be. So here is our shape forming now that I fixed it. So the next thing we have to do, here is our 6OC bead. Right here we skipped it. Right here is where our 6mm bead is going to be. The next thing we have to do is pick up another 6OC bead and the Czech bead and cross to the Czech. Bring it down. Now we have to pull our strings tight and go through the next 6/0C bead up here on the top. So take my red string and go through just the 6/0C bead. So here we have two clears meeting up, and we need our fuchsia pink bead right here. So I'm going to pick up the last bicone and cross through it, bring it down, and again, if you have to, fix the beads so they're all going in the same direction. If any are popping down to the bottom, push them up to the top, just like this. So I'm exiting out of the bicone, and now I have to take my inside string, the black one, and I'm going to go through this Czech bead, just like this. We're closing up the top. Now both of my strings are exiting out of these beads, one out of the Czech, one out of the bicone. I'm going to pick up my last 6/0C bead and cross through it. Pull it down. Now my ring is wanting to get crazy again, but we could still fix it. So pop all the beads that are wanting to go down the bottom, pop them all up to the top. Once we put in our 6mm bead, this problem will be fixed. So this is what it looks like. So right now our strings are exiting out of this 6/0C bead. Now every time I've made this string right here has always been longer than this one. And we need our bead in the middle, we need the hole to go this way, straight up and down with our hand, with our fingers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the longer string, which is this one right here, and I'm going to pick up 5 6mm beads, and I'm going to go through all these beads here in the outer edge, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick up my last 6mm bead, and I'm going to cross through it, and my ring band is going to come off the side this way. And you can see here on the finished string what I'm talking about. So this peach bead, this is where we're at right now on this. The string that's coming out this bead is longer, so I'm going to take that string and I'm going to go all the way around, putting in those 6mm beads, and then when I get over here I'm going to pick up my last one and cross through it. Taking the longer string, I'm going to flip this upside down, pick up my 6mm, exiting out of this seed bead, I'm going to go through the next. Pick up another, and go through the next. My third one, go through the next seed bead right here. Pick up my fourth one, go through this seed bead, pick up my fifth, and go through this one. Now I'm going to pull my strings tight and straighten up these beads. So it looks like this. Now I'm going to pick up my last one and cross through it. If any beads are going to the bottom, just press them up. Pull the strings tight and press the beads that are going to the bottom up. Pull as tight as you can, so your ring looks like this. They're all on the top. So now we're ready to start our ring band. Now we're going to do the ring band, and this is still trying to get bent out of shape, but it's going to be fixed once we start doing the ring band. Because I'm not pulling the strings, it's why it's starting to get bent. So I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads on each side. I'm going to do a teal, a metallic, and a teal. Slide them down. Then I'm going to pick up one and cross through it. Pull it nice and tight. I'm going to pick up again a teal on each side, silver, silver, teal. So 3 seed beads on each side, slide them down, pick up silver and cross through it. Bring it on down, pull my strings tight, and if you still have to straighten anything out, do it now, because once we go beyond this point, you won't be able to tidy this up again. It's going to stay the way it is. So, pull it nice and tight. Mine looks good. They're all sticking out the top, and they're all in a nice round dome shape. So again, 3 seed beads on each string. Teal, silver, teal, teal, and cross through 1 11-0 or 10-0 seed bead, whatever you're using. Bring it down. 3 again on each side. Slide them down. Pick up one and cross through it. I'm going to do it one more time. 3 on each side. Pick up one, slide those 3 down, pick up one and cross through it. Keep on doing this until you're able to wrap this around your finger, and once you can get it around your finger and it meets the bead over here, you have to add 2 more rings so the ring will fit you just right, because when we add the outer edge, this ring band is going to shrink just a little bit. So keep on going until you get to that point. So now that I have the amount that I need to make the ring fit me, I'm going to take my strings and I'm going to go through this 6mm bead over here. So straight across, I'm going to cross through it with my strings. There's one string, and here's the other. Pull the strings until your band closes like this. Now we're going to make this look a lot fancier. With this ring here, I have my band going this way, but I have this little strand of seed beads that I did to make the band and the top of the ring more connected, so it's more fancier. So exiting out of the 6mm bead, I have to take one of my strings, and sometimes it helps if you bend the ring to go through the seed bead next to it. Do the same thing on this side. Take the string, bend the top of the ring, and go through this bead. Just like this. So now my strings are exiting out those seed beads. Pull the strings tight. Now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. On this one I did the green turquoise that's in the center. This one I kept it going with the color on the edge. This one I did the same thing that I'm doing in this ring. And this one I kept it going with the color on the edge. So whatever color you want that you're doing in your ring band, go ahead and pick up 3 of those seed beads. Slide them down. Right here is our first teal bead. I'm going to go through this silver bead. first one, just like this. Now I have to take and flip it over and do this side. Pick up 3. Here's my teal bead, and here's the silver one. Go through there, pull it through. Now pull both of the strings and tighten that up so the strings aren't loose. Now I'm going to continue on with my ring band, and the rest of my ring band on the top and this side here is clear, but when I get back over here I'm going to do the silver again. So exiting right here, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, not 3 like I did at the beginning, and I'm going to go through the next silver bead just like this. Pick up 2 again and go through the next silver bead. So skipping these 2 teal, bend the ring and go through this one. Pull it tight. I'm going to stop and go back to this side because it's loosening up. Pick up 2 more and go through the next silver one. Just like this. Pick up 2 more and go through the next silver one. When you pinch it, that bead pops out and it's a lot easier to go through. Now I'm going to pull both of my strings tight, so now it looks like this, and it's more decorative. The ring band is more connected with the top of the ring, making it look a lot fancier. So now I'm going to take one of the strings and I'm going to keep on going, filling in the sides, 2 seed beads at a time, and going through the center seed bead. So the silver ones are my centers. Go through this one, go to the next one, pop that bead out of place, pick up 2 more seed beads, and go through this one. Pull it tight. This is what it looks like. Now I have to do the next one. 2 more seed beads, pinch it, and go through this one. 2 more seed beads, pinch this so that bead pops out, and go through this one. So keep on going, filling in both sides of the ring band, and once you get over here I'll show you what to do next. So I finished the sides and this is what it looks like. Now I'm over here. My strings are exiting out of these silver seed beads on each side. I'm going to take one of my strings, pick up 3 seed beads. I'm going to bend the ring again so I'm able to go through this 6/0 seed bead. Pull my string through. Now I have to go through this Czech bead, so I still have to bend it to get through there easier. And now I'm going to flip my ring over because I'm right-handed. I'm going to take this string on this side, pick up 3 seed beads, slide them down. I'm going to bend the ring this way, go through this seed bead, and then I have to bend the ring again, like this, and go through this Czech bead. Pull the string through. Okay, now I'm going to pull both ends and push this middle seed bead in so it's flat. Make sure it's flat over here. Push this flat. Pull it nice and tight. And now we are ready to tie the half hitch knots. So this is what our ring looks like. So now I'm going to show you how to tie half hitch knots, and I actually already filmed this, but my camera was acting up. I already did this side over here, this red string. It's already fading. I went all the way around here, tie my half hitch knots, and now I'm over here. So I'm going to just snip this off because I already have a knot here, and I went through this bead, so I don't need this here no more. So pull this string and cut it as close as I can to my ring without cutting my other strings. So right now I'm in a tricky place. I'm exiting out of this 6mm bead, and what I have to do is I have to go through a hole up here, but I cannot pass over one of these working threads that I have going. I have a thread coming from here to this, one coming here to that one, and one here. I have to go just over the bead and be very careful not to catch one of those threads, because if I do, it's going to pull the ring in an awkward way and the ring isn't going to look nice. So once I have that over there, I'm going to pull this loop and the string's going to fall to the side. So pull the end just so the loop is about that big, it's a little small. Now I have to get this end closer so I could tie my knot right here. So I'm going to take the string and go through this little hole, pass it up to the top, and go through this loop twice and tie my half hitch knot right here. So pull this loop so the knot falls straight down right there. Now I'm going to pinch the ring and go through the seed bead. So I'm going to tie a knot between all these beads, a half hitch here, 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 and right here, and I'm going to go through this bead and cut the string. I tie this many because it really enforces the sides of the ring, making it a lot more durable, and it also makes the ring have a better shape. So you could see that it's kind of weird shaped right now. That's because I just tied a whole bunch of knots on that side and none on this side. So exiting on here, I'm going to tie another knot. I won't be able to go all the way over here because I am running out of time. But right here, you have to find where you can go over this bead without catching any strings. And usually it's right beneath those. So I don't know if you could see it because my string is so clear, but right there, I went over the bead. Now I have to catch my string on the inside, pull the loop over this way where I need my knot to fall. Now if it's not catching anything, you're in a good place. So here's my loop. I'm going to go through the loop twice and pull the knot down. I'm going to go through this bead and pull my knot into this bead. I'm going to tie one more knot right here. I have to find the string that's going this way and be very careful not to catch the other ones. So right here I can go through maybe. Or maybe up here. Okay, right there. So I didn't catch any of the strings. Here's my loop. Pull the loop. Right here is where I need my knot to fall. Go through this loop twice. And pull it down. So once you get over here, it's going to be in that tricky place again. So you're going to tie a knot here. Go through this bead, tie a knot here, and then you have to pass through this bead and snip your knot here. But once you get here and you have to tie the knot, what you do is you take, let me get my tweezers, take your string underneath these threads, pull it out the bottom, then you have to go up through this hole and then go through the loop twice and pull the knot down, and then pass through here and trim the string. Never trim the string at a knot because the knot will always come undone. So always make sure that you tuck your tail string into another bead before you trim it. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I sure had fun playing around with the different colors in this design. Please like this video, leave me a comment, Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and follow me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the things you've made from my tutorials. Thanks for watching.